boys and girls. This is Miss Patterson. I am going to review Setting, and this time it is in a historical fiction book, The Taste of Colored Water, and it is one of my favorite books to read. So historical fiction is an imaginary story, falls in the fiction genre, that takes place during a real time in the past. Okay. One thing with setting, this plays a huge part in the story. The setting is what really helps us understand the plot and the conflict in the story. So this anchor chart here is going to be something you put in your notebook or your folder, or for you virtual learners, something that you need to pay attention to. All right. So how does setting affect the plot of the story? Well, the words setting, plot, and story are important words to pay attention to in the question if you see one of those types of questions. They let us know that this is a question about the whole text. So you need to make sure that you are aware of what is happening in the beginning, the middle, and the end with the setting. So I've made an example for you using A Taste of Colored Water. So in the beginning, we notice that it takes place in a small town. They're in the South. I can kind of tell that by the way that they talk, by the pictures with the farm, and the fact that he is going to town for a tractor part. In the middle of the story, I noticed that they're in the big city. There's not very many trees. There's a lot of people. There's the city hall. There's policemen. There's firemen. And then they also notice that there's a bunch of marchers that are down on the street. So then I noticed at the end of the story, the setting, that the marchers, they were getting loud. It was kind of getting very uncomfortable for the kids. They were standing at the bubbler with the policeman, and he was yelling at them, but they weren't really sure what was happening. And then we noticed at the end that the uncle takes them and was really worried about them, puts them in the truck, and they head back to the farm. So using these three boxes and the three settings or three parts of the story, I'm going to look at how I can put them all together. In the story, I noticed that the children were very naive to what was going on. They just wanted some colored water. They thought it was like a rainbow water fountain. So they came from a small town farm life into the big city where there were protests happening. Also, they so badly wanted the colored water, not realizing what the colored water actually stood for. Looking at the settings throughout the story, I can tell that this story took place in the South, and it was during segregation, when blacks and whites could not be together. So what you are going to do next for your independent practice, you're going to listen to Henry's Freedom Box. You can click here on this blue link. You're going to go to Canvas when you're done, take the Henry's Freedom Box quiz, and make sure to hit submit at the end of the quiz. This is going to be for a grade. All right, if you have any questions, email your teacher, and happy reading.